Hi, this is Monica from Unique Designs by Monica, and today we are going to be creating pattern paper. La-da! And I'm going to show you how you can put this all together using basic shapes. I've already taught you how to do the seal, the donut, the cupcake, and the heart. So we're just going to combine this all together, and I'm going to show you how to make patterned paper. So let's get started. So first things first, it's not this, it's this. Okay. So we just finished doing our seal. And the previous days, or should I say previous weeks, I showed you how to make the cupcake, the donut, and the heart. Now, before we begin, we're going to have to add a couple more things before we change this studio file into an SVG. And one last thing that I forgot. I am not using Business Edition. I am going to be moving down to Standard. So you can see that I'm not cheating anything. It's on Standard right now. So I'm going to need a couple of circles. Now, you can choose whatever colors you want. I'm just going to randomly pick some here. A little dauber tool. I'm going to get myself a green. This beautiful pink here. And you know what? There's a couple of browns, so I'm just going to use brown. And I'm going to highlight everything. And I'm going to remove all my color lines. So it's very flesh. Now, before we actually do anything, this white right here is too white. It's going to blend in and I'm not going to be able to do anything. So I need to make this a little bit more off-white. Oh, make sure that you are on the right section here. I need to be under fill panel, sorry. And I'm going to make this a little darker. Let me make you a little darker. Actually, let's see if I can make this a little whiter, a little better off-white. That looks better. Because this one's gray. This one's a little lighter gray. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this one. That looks better. I can see it a little better. Let me see if I can make this just a tad bit darker. Okay, good. So we have all that we need. So let's save this. So nothing gets, and now we're going to go over to the website that Silaholic Anonymous recommended to go. Now, if you're looking for the link, you can find the link below. So let's go to that. Here we go. This is it. It's called Ideas R Us Software. And in order for me to use it, as you can see, it says I have 10 conversions left. So it resets every single day. You can make 10 SVGs using your Silhouette Studio every day. And if you do that every day, 10 every day, by the end of the month, depending if it's 30 or 31 days, you can get up to 331 SVGs. And that's quite a lot that you could do to create a business if you wanted to. All right. So first things first, let me get my file. And we're under April. Okay. There she is right there. So what I'm going to do is going to drag and drop. There it is. It says Seals Studio. Now, if you have blockers, you need to be very, very aware that you disable them or make sure that this goes through. Okay, let's convert it. There it is, right there. There she is. Look how beautiful she is. Good. You know what I did? I did a small mistake, but that's fine. I was supposed to transfer these into here so they look like they're holding it. But you know what? We're going to roll with the punches. So what if they're not holding them? Then we can put them on the side. We can put them next to each other, or we can have them as a decoration. I'm not going to stress about that. All right. I'm going to save this. Right here it is under my, make sure you figure out where you're going to be placing. As you can see, it says SVG and it says keep. I'm going to let them do the thing. And there she is. There is our SVG. Now, unfortunately, I cannot transfer an SVG into Studio. They're not going to allow that. So, we're going to go to Canva and we're going to transfer it into it. I'm just going to do that. It's opening Canva, just checking everything out. Good, good, good. I'm going to download this. Make sure I download this properly. Sorry. There it is. It's doing its thing. There it is. Now, it's not going to land in my file. I'm going to have to go hunting for it because normally when you download something, it'll go into your downloads. So I'm going to open this up. And there she is. I'm going to lift it up. And I'm going to cut and paste. Is this time consuming? A little bit, but you're getting something, transferred that you ultimately wouldn't be able to transfer in out of Silhouette. However, now that you actually have this right here, I showed you the process. As a cutting machine, you can now cut on a Cricut. 1 second here. There we go. Now, let's get to making what we need to make. So these right here, I no longer need because I need these to be a PNG. It is a must because that's how you make pad on paper. Okay. You can see it's kind of tiny, not a big deal. Let's make this a little bit bigger. There we go. Now you're probably thinking, well, it has a white background. How are you gonna use it? I'm gonna show you a little trick that Silhouette Studio has. You go over here to this little butterfly and it says trace panel. It's going to select trace area. I'm going to select the whole thing. Now, here's my threshold right here. So I'm just going to slide it over slightly until all of my areas are completely encircled. I'm almost there. Oh, there we go. That's it. I'm going to stop right there. And I'm going to trace outline edge. It's going to do its thing. As you can see, everything has been traced. Great. Select the whole thing and crop. All right. Now, just in case anything happens, make a copy and put it over here. And as you can see, there's a white outline. You may not get that every single time, especially if you have a darker SVG that you want to convert into a PNG. But for right now, this is all we need. And since they're not aren't able to be holding it, that's fine. I'm going to show you how to put it into your pattern paper. Okay, first things first, let's make these guys just a little bit smaller. They're a little bit big. And now we're just going to put these randomly in our area. So let's just take everything out like that. All right, let's bring this little guy in. And I'm going to use the heart right here. Okay, as you can see, this right here hasn't been cut all the way through. That's fine. Since the background's going to be white, it's not going to be noticeable. Now, if you go with any other different color, you are definitely going to see the white outline. Let's see, I am going to shrink this. And I kind of want to have it up here. And these are going to be coming in handy. So, now that I have the area that I want this to look. All right. Now I'm going to duplicate this again. Because now that I have it the size that I want, I'm going to put it over here. Now I'm going to get my knife tool. I'm going to hold down Shift so I can get a straight line all the way down. and that's going to cut right through it. Now I'm going to get my select tool right here, and I'm only going to select one side. And now that I have it selected, I'm going to group. Now I'm going to grab this side. Oh, I don't want to get these by mistake. Okay. And I'm going to group. Okay, now that I have that ready, all I have to do is move them over. Just like that. Now, I also need to make sure that this is on the line. So I have to adjust it. You see how it moves just slightly? That's what we needed. All right, let's work on the bottom here. And we want to make sure we don't have overlapping colors. So I'm just going to use this guy right here. This guy right here. And since this is going to be moved up here, I'm not going to mess with that. So let's move this guy down here. Like that. And before I do anything else, it's absolutely necessary to make duplicates. You don't want to mess with this. Because then you'll be like, oh no, I cut through it. And you can't bring another one up. You're going to have to push backspace just so, in order for it not to mess up. So I have this right here. And that's fine. I'll leave it just like that. Because whatever happens down here, it's going to go up here. So let's do it again. Select, hold on, select, and cut your pieces. Now you could do this with an SVG. However, SVGs have layers, and you would have to make sure you get every single little point. Otherwise, anything left over, you're going to have a hard time making this a continuous look. I'll show you what I mean about continuous look. Here we go. I'm going to copy this and group this. All right. I don't mean copy, I meant group. And then I'm going to put this up here. Let's see. Yes, I have to put that guy up there. Just like that. And I need to make sure that this guy is lined up properly. Alright, before I continue, let me move this over. Make this a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. Alright. Now before I continue, I want to make sure that this... Let's get some white paper so I can see. I'm going to make this a 12 by 12. Oh, I made it 112. 12 by 12. There we are. Okay. Gonna make this white, and I'm gonna remove any lines. Okay. I'm gonna put this to the center and then move it back. Alright, before I do anything, before I put a lot of detail on here, I want to make sure that this is lined up correctly. So I'm gonna group everything, and then I'm going to use my replicate tool, and I'm just going to go to the left. Seamless. You see how seamless that is? Do you see a line anywhere? No, it's perfect. Let's just see if I get the same kind of result when I go up here. Perfect. Not an issue. Now you can actually start decorating. You don't want to put all this effort into the inside only for be like the line is off. Okay, now let's put all these little guys in here however I want, and I'm gonna need my little circles, and of course I'm gonna need my donut. So let's move out just a little bit, not that much. There we go. All right, let's see. Oh, I'm gonna move him over here. You over here. And you over here. Just like that. Now, I'm gonna start putting in some more. Let me just copy. Ooh, I have this grouped. Copy. And we're going to start just adding our cupcake, our donut. You know what? Yeah, this donut's going to be right here. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. And you can make the donuts as big and as small as you want. This is your project. You can do whatever you wish. But these guys are going to be the MVP right here, because you're going to duplicate this as many times as possible to fill up your spaces. Do you need circles? No, you can have stars, you can have lines, you can have, let's see, what other shapes are there? Squares, rectangles, whatever. You can, have chimichangas on here if you wanted. I mean, this is all depending on what you want this to look. You could put some Halloween PNGs on here. You can have some Christmas PNGs. I'm just showing you how to use what you have learned to make your own pattern paper using Silhouette, which, to be honest, I can't guarantee that you can do this on a Cricut. I mean, you can try, but I don't think you're going to get the same results. Okay. Alrighty then. Once I have all of my areas full, we are going to turn this into a PNG pattern paper one last time. There's 2 times that you're going to be using this as converting it into a PNG. Let's move this to the front and put you right here. So I was originally supposed to have the seals have them holding the donut and the cupcake and the heart. But to be honest, I think it's a little bit better that they didn't, because now you can use them as your background. You know what? I'm going to put a cupcake right here. And I'm going to put a donut right here. And you're probably thinking, what does the seals have to do with dessert? Absolutely nothing. It's just your creativity on how you want this to look. I mean, have you seen a penguin wearing a sweater and then doing a little happy dance? No, but we have those pattern papers available. Now, I notice that right here doesn't have anything, so just to make it even, oh, I got the wrong color. What I'm gonna do is gonna line these guys up, and I am going to, nope, cut that. All right. Now this guy, I think I want it right here. Nope, right here. Let's move. And let's place this all the way in the bottom, just like that. So whatever happens down here, it's going to happen up here. So let's just make sure we move all of this stuff. Let's see, I'm going to move that to the bottom also. And I shouldn't have done that. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. Let's go back. That was my bad. I wasn't supposed to separate them like that. Okay, I am going to move this up a little, and I am going to put it right here, because whatever I do to the bottom, it needs to be done to the top. That was my bad. And as you can see, that's touching right over here, so I'm going to move that. And this needs to be moved there. I'm going to grab this again, put it right here. Let's put this to the top. Okay, perfect. It's not touching anything. And I'm going to put this at the bottom. All right, I have the green doing the same thing. Oh, let's grab the bottom. Move this to the top. Good, it's not touching anything. And let's go to the bottom right there. That's looking pretty good. You know, you can spend hours trying to make this as nice as possible. Fill in all the gaps. Do whatever it is that you want to do. I know for me, I'm like, oh, add more, add more. But I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. This is fine. So I no longer need this just to move everything along. So, okay. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do this one more time because I did mess with the bottom. So let's group. And let's move this out just a little bit. Go over here. All right, still looking good. And let's go up. Nothing's wrong. Everything's moving. It's seamless. It's absolutely seamless. Okay. So let's save this because you have your pattern paper now. So I'm going to save this. Going to go over here to my video projects, April, right there. And I'm going to change this to pattern paper seals. All right. I'm going to save it. It's going to save it as Silhouette Studio because as you can see, it doesn't give you any other options. All right. All right. Let's just make sure we say that properly. Okay. Now, we're going to go back. Let's move back. And we're going to do this one more time. So now we have 9 out of 10 available. So, yep, right there. And this, let's rename this to seals. So we don't get confused because the other one is going to be pattern paper. So we got pattern paper. I'm going to move this over. There she is. I'm going to convert it. There it is. It says pattern paper. There we go. We're going to save as. And we're going to save that as pattern paper, SVG. Make sure up here you don't have anything that's going to block it. All right. We're going to move over to Canva. And we're going to do the whole process one more time. And where is my SVG? There it is. I'm going to move it right here. And now we have it converted to PNG. Now, you can make it into a JPEG if you want. You have that option. That gives you the option right here to change it into a JPEG right here if you want to. I think PNG is a little bit better because you don't lose a lot of pixels. With JPEG, you lose a little bit. You lose a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. So let's download it. It's downloading. And of course we need to go back right here. And we are going to move this over. Cut. Paste. Alright. I'm going to rename this to pattern paper. Now you're probably thinking, well, why do we need to do that again? Well, I'm going to show you. Now that you have it converted, it's a brand new sheet. I'm going to show you a really cool trick. Let me move over here the pattern paper. There she is. Let's make this a 12 by 12. All right. Moment of truth. Let's make this go right in the center. We're going to go over to our fill panel, and then we have the fill pattern. Okay. Now you got 3 options here: transparency, scale, and angle. If you want, you could angle this, but it's not necessary. I'm just going to scale this. Look at that. Look at that. You've made yourself pattern paper. Now you can make this as big or as small as you can possibly want. Now, here, let me show you something rather interesting. Say you do love this image. You kind of want this on a bag or on a shirt or something like that. But you don't want to make it yourself. It's, you don't have all the stuff necessary to do this. So you can easily go to Printful. Now, I have gotten stuff here. They have really nice quality. So let's say I wanted a mug, you know. Let's go to the white ceramic with the little color. I love this look. It's nice. Let's get something that we already have the color for. It's green. We're going to design that. All right. There she is. We're going to pull our PNG up. There's our PNG pattern paper, and we're just going to drop that in. Give it just a second. Doing its thing. It's a pretty big file. All right, there we go. Now you can scale this as big. It's saying it's just the quality is too low. You can duplicate it. Say, okay, you know what? I like the way it looks now. I'm just gonna duplicate this. Line this up. Move a little higher. Oh, you know what? I moved it. That's why it's not lining up. It's like it's supposed to be lining up. There he goes. Do, 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 do. There you go. Do that one more time. I kind of like the fact that it's so, it just covers the whole thing. And if you want to see what it looks like, this is what it looks like. As you can see, there's a line. I need to get it a little closer. But overall, you have officially made yourself a pattern paper for a product. Now, whether you get this professionally done or if you want to do it yourself, this gives you a great idea on how it looks. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. I know it was a pretty long tutorial. What is this? 27 minutes? Not bad. If you have, again, all the descriptions in the link below. Thank you so much and have a beautiful day.